Hi! Fancy meeting you here in this little old place. I'm Tish, and this is Echo Echo. Check this out. Oh. This is ridiculous. What? And guess what? I got a new chair. Oh, it's so comfy. I need to get closer. Oh, yeah. Hi. Comfortable. Yeah. I put this cover on it because it's a gaming chair. I didn't want it to look like a gaming chair. So there's like koalas in Santa hats. I got this feeling somebody's watching me. That song is stuck in my head. Okay, how we going, everybody? Welcome to TISHMAS, Merry TISHMAS, Merry TISHMAS. We are back with another Anti-MLM. 12 days of TISHMAS. Counting down. Yeah. That was my best music DJ in the morning. In the morning. My back is really sore. I went swimming today. I fucking love swimming. It's so, I like swimming myself. Hate the sport as a sport, but the skill, A1. Recommend. Alright. We were supposed to do a collab with my paramours, the Clown Town, but they I think Val was not feeling well. So they asked if we could postpone, and I said yes. And I am wishing Val lots of better that the drugs start working for you, and just general better health. And I love you. All right, and Gus, I love you too. All right. So we are going to get into somebody I would consider who's problematic, okay? Because she went cold turkey and she said that she's her own therapist. And this was in the live that the Clowntown and I did a couple of weeks ago, where this woman was talking about how she didn't need a doctor, she didn't need that, and she just healed herself with herself and Amare products. Editing Tish here. I didn't say what company she's in. So our lovely contender today, her name is Laura, and she is from the Amare, a global company, who call themselves the mental wellness company. Instead of health and wellness, they're a mental wellness. And they have some outrageous claims about mental illness, including taking away medication. Monica Hayworth has a really good series on somebody from Amare who had gone off their depression meds. The Clowntown, Julie Joe, they've done recent videos on Amare, and Jessica Hickson has a really good roundup deep dive from last year. So Jessica was onto it. She was onto it. This is paint on my hands, by the way. I'm making dot paintings, well, not like Aboriginal dot paintings, different paintings, and getting them into, you have to have a look, see, like, little teeny weeny, and the bottles are so hard to fill. God damn. Yeah, so, Amare, very bad. I've seen it pop up everywhere, actually. Actually, I think, Erin and Julie Joe have talked about it, and Ava. I've seen it all over the place because it's pretty bad, especially the claims, oof, not good. Definitely going to be a high flyer in 2023 for sure. So back to me now. As another note, I was very sleepy when I was making this, so I'm going to pop in probably a few more times because I was an idiot. So, Tish v. Tish, Tishmas, day 8, and yeah. So I am not impressed with her as somebody who's on my own recovery journey. I would be nowhere without my doctors and my prescribing nurses. So I think it's really dangerous to put out something that is so usually doesn't work, usually is more dangerous. So yeah, it's not good. All right, so we're gonna watch her. Her name is Laura, but it's spelled like Lara. Oh, hang on, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna do this. Do, 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 do. I'm sorry. At Chrome tab. What do we want? We want, yeah, Facebook. All right. Oh, hang on. So I need to do this. Sorry. Very sorry. Just so that I can do the YouTubey things as well as watch this damn thing. All right, how are we gonna watch? Are we gonna watch it like this? Yeah, let's watch it like that. Okay, so please like and subscribe. Remember, that took way longer because it was more in the way. So remember our little koala friend. I'm trying to buy your comments, engagement. If you leave a comment on the video, you can go in the running to win our little friend, our little pal. Okay, he's not a squishmallow, but he's very similar, like a knockoff squishmallow. So yeah, it's gonna be real useful to you after Christmas. All right, let's do this. I want to lean back a little bit. Lean back.
Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday again. I'm testing out some new equipment, so I really appreciate your patience with me. If you saw, I just went live for a few seconds and there was too much going haywire. So I switched a couple settings. I think we should be good now. But I wanted to go over some business stuff.
Okay, so I'm just going to, I don't know if this will affect the size. Maybe I want to get rid of that. Yeah, that's better. All right. So this video that we're watching now is called like what I do, where I'm from, blah blah blah. Or how, what's the business. So let's keep going to see what she says.
Tonight. So a lot of you, have followed my content. Maybe you've seen my dog, or you just see me posting about my lifestyle. And I get a lot of questions about like, what do you actually do? Like, what's your actual job? How do you?
She better not say she's an influencer because she's a fucking network marketer. I'm gonna have to bend forward because I don't want to hold my mic that whole time. So yeah, let's get a little bit better set up here, Tish. All right, because I want to draw on my iPad. So she also, FYI, she has, I think they call it the Rebel Alliance. Yeah. With Danielle de Grande, who is like, oh, I'm Sober Queen. And I just went through her Facebook page, and she has like, 3 or 4 stories from this month, posts, four posts from last month, October, all like with hashtag sober, hashtag this. I think it's a really scummy and to use your sobriety as a recruiting tactic. And I was even MLMs are like a 12-step program. I'm like, hell yeah, they are. Very similar.
Make money? How do you like live this lifestyle? And so I wanted to break that down a little bit, and I'll disclose as much as I can, and hopefully I don't get like flagged or anything like that for the things that I say. But I am going to.
Who would flag you? What does that mean? Do you mean Facebook? The people? Compliance of your own company? The FTC? There's too many things to fit in that. You could get flagged for a few things, but usually, like FYI, usually people don't lead with that. Okay?
to kind of break it down, like exactly what my businesses are and how you can lean in a little bit more or get more information if that feels like something that's in alignment with you, or if you already have an opportunity. I'll talk about content creation a little bit. If you're like, oh, I want to do that, but I just don't know where to get started. Some of the parts of my businesses are consulting work on the back end as well. So I want to make sure that you know all of the resources that are available to you and how we can connect a little bit further as far as in the business world. So I currently have a little bit of a fifth, but 4 main streams of income. As many of you know, I am a content creator. I have a couple different platforms that I earn income for content. So I do my videos with Callie, my dog, here on Facebook, excuse me, on Facebook, and I am monetized with Facebook. So I get paid. I am in their content creator program with Facebook Reels. There's several other ways that you can monetize on Facebook. I'm trying to qualify for those programs right now, but I'm currently monetized just in the Reels program. I've been in that for about 8 months. Sometimes I have people reach out to me that know I'm in that and they want advice, or, hey, I just got invited to this. Like, what do I do? Right. There are some good resources available through Meta, but if you did want someone to help you step by step, I would offer consulting services in that case. And just to give you a little bit of kind of perspective on how it's been for me, we are in our either 7th or 8th month in the program. We just hit the $20,000 mark. $20,000. I'm trying to make 20.
Was that pause for ooh, look how much I wasn't impressed because I don't know what you're fucking talking about.
5 this year. That is my goal within a 9-month period with just that program, just that piece of content. So I make videos with Callie. We've kind of gotten a good rhythm. I figured out what works. I figured out what my audience likes. A lot of you are probably here because of that. That's great. I love it. And that honestly brings me a lot of joy because I know you might be on the road sitting day and then you get to see Callie and her little face and things like that a lot. So and make people smile, and obviously the income is just icing on the cake. So that is one of my content platforms. Another one, which shall remain nameless, but I do my own personal content that is a little bit more adult geared. It does not involve Callie. Just
OF. Sweetie, get on OF, stay on OF. How bizarre. That you could, why wouldn't you be able to talk about it? And what are you using it for? Obviously money, but how does that fit into the Amare, big great fundraising in the sky, see what she has to say about it.
To be very clear, but a little more on the sensual, expressive, feminine side. So I did that content for myself. I started that I'm in my 5th month right now. So I started that in July on a different platform, and I am at about $14,000 right now. And my goal for
Damn, I need to get on OnlyFans.
that is to hit 20 by the end of the year, because I'm basically trying to create a 6-figure income off of just content. And so kind of jokingly, but not really, Callie and I have a contest every month of whose content's going to make more money. Some months I win, other months she wins. But the same thing with that. If you are interested in, and this is really just for women, I probably wouldn't work with men on this, but if you're interested in learning more about the spicy content, if you will, that I create, I'm actually in the process of creating a YouTube channel to support helping other women step into that from a business perspective, because there's a really...
Are you kidding me? There's 100 billion different guides on how to do OF. That's not something that is needed. She speaks slowly, so I'm just going to make her a bit faster.
The important component of doing that type of work when it comes to mental health and respect and boundaries and treating it like a business, not getting your emotions involved, and who should and shouldn't even get into that type of work. So I have
ma'am, what are your qualifications for giving out this information to anyone? You don't have any right. Story checks out.
A lot that I've learned that I want to share about that. So stay tuned for my YouTube channel that's going to be launching soon, The Spicy CEO. You see me kind of throw that brand around. That's what that is. And so you can obviously support me if you want to look at my content or subscribe to my page, or you can, if you have an interest in starting up your own type of business, or you've been thinking about it and you just don't even know where to start, I do have free stuff I'll be posting as far as the YouTube channel, but then I'll also have one-on-one private coaching that I can do as well. So that's number one and number two on the content creation side. Actually, also number three, I do the consulting work on the back end of both of those. So a lot of stuff in the content creation world, which I do because I get to be creative and I get to work with a lot of different people and I get to kind of like play with stuff. Like I'm playing with a lot of different platforms right now. All of the monetization stuff is like always a moving target, all right? So like TikTok had their creator fund and then that kind of dried up, and plus it like popped up some people's algorithms. Instagram Reels had their shining moment. Now Facebook Reels has had their shining moment. Now it's kind of transitioning a little bit to YouTube. So like it's been very interesting learning all of that and like kind of keeping up with it. So I know I have a lot of value to give in terms of that. So even if you're already a content,
It was so funny. I just watched a whole bit where I was like rambling on, and then at the end it said, and I don't know if this is relevant, but I'll decide in the edit. And in the edit, it was not relevant. In fact, it was fucking ridiculous. Anyway, I think I get a point, right? But this is her on her Facebook, and she's talking about how she can give you all of this value, value, value. But she's just an MLM rep. Like, she's not, there's nothing else. She's obviously has creation in the way with making content with her dog. Great. And her OnlyFans content. Great. But there's so much out there. Like, there's a plethora of things to add to this landscape. You don't need to do it. And if it's just some sort of vanity thing, great, you know, but it feels like it's going to be something that she forces her Rebel Alliance gals to take part in, and you know, to learn about or to use or to pay her or whatever, you know, it any sort of power, you know, perceived power in an MLM with an MLM distributor is never good. Like it just isn't. She, I don't know, she doesn't even seem like very passionate about it. I know people might think that about me because I think I'm quite animated, but I know when I listen back over stuff, I don't know how it happens. Don't know. It's a mystery to me how my voice can sound calming, because it sounds like a fucking squirrel screeching up a tree in this head. So glad that it's can be relaxing for some people. But yeah, like I suppose on the other token, there's always going to be new content creators, right? Despite the fact, you know, myself, is there a need for more anti-MLM content? Well, I say yes, because we just don't have enough people to cover all of the fucking companies, and they just keep springing up like cockroaches. Like, you find one cockroach, you lift it up, there's 20 more. So, you know, I think we should have more. But you look at the popularity on YouTube, it's not paying to do that unless, you know, only for a couple of big people. So, you know, in theory, it wouldn't look like it was a good climate to join, but because this is not about making money, because it's about consumer awareness and trying to, you know, look after each other, be good humans, save some people from getting scammed, then there's a lot of us who do it without getting paid, and that's okay, you know. Yeah. So I think that, I don't know. Good luck. I don't think that it's going to be a big money maker for you. But obviously she's doing okay, you know? I know there was a while back there everybody was pushing to go to Facebook because there was money in Facebook, but I don't know how sustainable it all is. And even in the dog content, there's quite a lot of competition. So, yeah, again, it feels like it could be a bit of a rug pull for her downline to follow, you know? Hi, welcome to the middle of the video. Not even probably, but the rest of the, like, let's just redo. So, Laura has told us about her streams of income. Oh, I love a good story about streams of income, you know, because you need more than one stream of income to do something. It's one of those statistics that they've glommed onto as network marketers. So she's about to start talking about Amare.
And then my fourth stream of income is really the one that long-term I'm most passionate about because it's the one that's most personal to me. And that is my mental wellness business. I'm gonna take a sip of water. So I got into this business about 4 months ago. As many of you know, I am in a sobriety journey. I will be 4 years in March. And there's a long...
That's weird, because on her, because I just had to re-look up this video to watch it again. And it says she was the founding member if she only joined 4 months ago. And this was from November, the 30th of November. I thought she was in it longer than that.
Story behind this. I'm going to give you the condensed version. If you want more of the long version, I talked about it on an Instagram Live last night. You can go on my Instagram page at the Laura Harris. There's a great conversation with my business partner Danielle and I about sobriety and how we got here and what the fuck we're doing, kind of. Nobody knows what we're doing. We're doing our best. And so about 4 months ago, I got into this mental wellness space because I was well into my sobriety. But about a year ago, I just started getting sick all the time. I moved to Austin, so I'm sure part of it was like allergies, stress, you know, all of those things. Like there was a lot going on emotionally and physically just with the change in environment. But I just started getting sick all the time. And I started getting recurring infections. I had COVID, which is pretty normal, but that stirred up like some recurring respiratory infections.
So lots of people have had complications post-COVID. Like it's quite common.
Were not COVID, and then I had all kinds of like UTI issues and just everything. It was like I couldn't stay well.
In my previous video, I said, tell us more about your UTIs. Just joking, but like, great. I mean, I suppose it's okay. Nothing's off the table. It's fine. I'm not a prude, but the point is not the UTIs. And I think sometimes they do talk about things that might be... Had a mouthful of chips then. They do talk about embarrassing problems because a lot of people think, well, she wouldn't talk about having hemorrhoids if she didn't have them because it's embarrassing to have hemorrhoids and no one would ever talk about it. And it's like, no, you're just using this to recruit. That's it.
For about 8 to 9 months when I moved to Austin. And I pretty much got to the point where I was like, okay, like what fucking gives? Like I'm eating clean, I'm not drinking, I'm exercising, I'm sleeping, right? Like I'm doing all of the things I'm supposed to be doing. Like why am I getting sick all the time? Like why can't my body like properly regulate itself and like protect itself anymore? And it got so bad where it was to the point where like I wouldn't, and some of you, if you know me, you remember this period. It was around April, May of this year. It got to the point where like I wouldn't even schedule things because I would have to cancel them or reschedule because I was getting sick like all the time. And so that created this circle of anxiety and guilt and like shame and mistrust in my body. Like it was a bad place about 6 months ago. And so the only thing that I hadn't like properly educated myself on or addressed since I got sober was my gut health. And I knew that my friend Danielle was in it. She's also going to be 4 years sober on April 1st, and it's not a joke. It's for...
So people who live with chronic pain, I mean, you're complaining about it, but a lot of people do live like that. And they don't, you know, like it's not about gut health. It's so easy. The secret is gut health. Ma'am, no. I mean, it sounds like, so if you are a recovering alcoholic, a lot of your interactions probably were around alcohol. So if, say, when you're in recovery, you are not as keen to get out and about because you don't have the social lubricant of alcohol. So that can make you anxious. I think you should have gone to therapy instead. Now, I think at the beginning I said something about her going into recovery and only having Amare products. That was Danielle, sorry. She had told this story with Danielle where she just went cold turkey and that was it. She didn't need anything else. That's it. Yeah.
For real. But I met her earlier this year and I knew she was in this company and I knew she dealt with gut health. And I finally humbled myself, right, enough to say, like, I need help. Like, I've tried everything else. I don't know what to do. Like, this is kind of like this has to be the missing piece. And it turns out that it was.
How the fuck would you know that? How would you know? How can you prove that? That is not a provable thing. You're a one person. It's anecdotal. There's no, did you do blood work? There could have been a variety of things that she could have done. We've got Miss Love. She's got on a collar that's a bit too big for her. Haven't come off yet. And Mr. Cutie Pie Pants. Hello! Hello! Oh, honey. Alright. Yes, I do just think it's ridiculous that your control group is you, and there's no science to this. It's all just her personal, you know, experience. And it's shit. And saying, "Oh, I had to humble myself to go and talk to her." Yeah, doubt it. I doubt it. Like it was that. It was probably Danielle pitching it for the 10th time to you, going, "Oh, finally ready to come and try my gut health thing." Gut health, gut health, gut health, gut health, gut health.
So through my personal experience over the past 4 to 5 months of, being partnered with this mental wellness company and leveraging some of their products and their resources and just really like diving in and educating.
Look, the WFAB girls talk about leveraging. Can we? That's not really what you do with products. Okay, you consume them. You use the products. Yeah, leveraging can be a synonym for use, but you just can't use it ever, like, overused.
Myself and working with the chief science officer. I got a mental wellness coach certification last month. Went to Boston, to Plymouth, and got to spend
a mental wellness coach certification. Oh, what's wrong, honey? Yeah, it is rubbish, isn't it? It's rubbish. Absolute rubbish. There is no such, like, certification. Lavender knows. She knows. I'll put you down, buddy. Yeah, Chelsea CC Suarez, she did a video about, the coaching industry, and she got certified for everything. Okay, including putting certifications into. No, I can't remember what that last one was, but it's hilarious. There is no regulation in life coaching, so it means jack shit.
Week with the chief science officer, just like deep diving into everything, which my like double Virgo math science brain is like, yes, this is awesome.
Yeah. The chief science officer, Dr. Sean Talbot, who was fined by the FTC. That guy. Yeah. Your double Virgo brain, was it doing that? Was it doing that with the facts and figures about your... Oh, I don't think they have an income disclosure. Well, the FTC's facts about, how much you earn. Yeah. Double Virgo brain going, yes, about the article about the FTC finding Sean Talbot. Yeah. All that research,
So a lot of you may not know this about me, but I actually have a degree in biology with a minor in cognitive science. I am a math science passionate person. But coming out of college in 2008, when obviously the world was crumbling, I didn't want to go into medical and I didn't want to work in a lab. And at that time, I didn't really see any other possibilities, because I was like just deer in headlights.
Okay, so the point that I made about this is that I graduated uni in 2002, and to think of my knowledge back then, to say that, yeah, I use it today, but only because I've built on it in my industry as a teacher. So I was terrible to start with, terrible. And knowledge of literature, literary theory, theatre history, and history itself, like that has only come because I've continued, and I'm the art, because I've continued to practice it. If you go into a period where you're not practicing it, you're not consistently building on that knowledge, then your original knowledge really isn't that relevant today. Like 2008, 14 years ago, is that what it is? 18? Yeah, 14 years ago. I don't know, especially science, especially a field like science and cognitive behavior. So much has changed, and we know a lot more about the body and the brain and things like that. So, good, it would be a good place for groundwork, but I don't think it's something where you're like, I know everything to do with what we are doing as a company. It's like, do you though?
And I had an opportunity in the industry that I was currently in to make six figures within a year of graduating. So I went that direction and did that for a while. But I've always known that somehow I was going to come back to science eventually. And so here it is.
So that tells me she wasn't studying science when she was in her six figures. What is it with these people? Like, you're fresh out of university and you make six figures? I don't know. It just doesn't sound right. Depends what it was, I suppose. But because we've just got the vague MLM version of her life, it's like, who knows? P.S. Still paint on my hands, okay?
And I have this personal experience to base it off of now. And I'm continuing my education and just kind of building upon what I already had as like a really good foundation through my formal education. And then just through like what I've learned in my own sobriety, like being my own doctor and being my own science experiment. And unfortunately, a lot of us have to do that nowadays, whether you're in sobriety or not, but you have to like advocate for yourself and try.
No, absolutely not. As a person who is in a larger body, I have had to advocate for my own health, but always with a doctor. I'm not going to be my own doctor. That's fucking stupid. And guess who doctors go to when they are sick? Other doctors. Because they can't treat themselves because you have an internal bias. This is stupid. It's dumb. It's bad advice. No, it's not bad advice. It's dangerous advice. And I think that it's something that is encouraged by Amare.
Try to figure out what's going on in your body and listening to your body. So I've partnered with the mental wellness company, and Danielle.
It's not partnering. You're a member. You are in the company. It's not a partnership. You're a fucking distributor. That's it.
Is my partner that works with me. We have an incredible team that we are building out here, a community of just badass rebels in.
You're not rebels. You're still the same as every other network marketer with a big hat. Okay? You are the same as them. You just swear. You give the middle finger in pictures. And you wear black. Okay? You're still doing exactly the same thing where you are building a team and making money from recruiting. And when I pointed that out to your lovely partner, like badass bitch, Danielle DeGrande, that she was not being a champion for women, that she was successful and telling a story of success, but knowing that the odds are not in anyone else's favor, and that for her to win, that her downline has to lose, and she blocked me. So, you're not that big a rebel, honestly.
We have a lot of us in Austin, but I've also got some people that are in North Carolina, just because that's my home and I still have a lot of wonderful friends there that are interested in mental health. And there's a couple different ways you can get involved with it. Obviously, the first one is just to reach out and say hi and get more information. It is in the network marketing space, which to me makes a ton of sense because it's a very
Okay, so she talked at the beginning about possibly you might be on here because of my dog. So she's using her dog to recruit. Gross. Okay. You might need to explain what network marketing is, and because you're not calling it an MLM, it's one of the ways of not completely disclosing what the opportunity is. If you're so proud of it, if you're such a rebel, like, look at us succeeding, tell the whole truth.
Personal thing. If we're talking about gut health, mental health, hormones, periods, all the fun stuff, it's a very personal experience that like you're not just going to want to go into a GNC and be like, hey, let me tell you about my last cycle and how my PMS is going for me. Because
That's exactly what their job is. I think does she mean a gynecologist? Who else are you gonna fucking tell? Like, this is fucking stupid now. Now I'm getting annoyed. I must have missed this last night in my tiredness. Because I can't remember this where she's telling us that, oh, we can't talk about embarrassing things with our doctors. Fuck off. Doctors say you don't keep secrets. We need to know everything that you're doing. It's not about getting you in trouble. Like, if you have had a drug overdose, they don't care. They just want to make sure that like, get the help that you need. Please tell us what drugs you've had. Blah 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 blah. How ridiculous! Are you 14 years old? I can't talk about periods with my gynecologist. Fuck off.
because Carl, that makes $10 an hour behind the cashier desk, he doesn't care. He's not paid to care, nor does he have the proper tools or resources to even like make a recommendation for you.
Oh, so this is like somebody who's at like a chemist or whatever. Yeah, maybe Carl doesn't care, but you would go to the pharmacist instead. But you don't know because Carl might be fucking, he might have sisters who have told him about this stuff. He might have a really informative mother who has told him. He might, be a trans man. He might be, I don't know, training pre-med, and this is what he's doing. You don't fucking know. But the point is, the people who employ other people to work in a place where you get advice for medical things, guess what they have? They have training. And in the training, they would learn about shit like this because it is probably something that comes up quite a lot. Mm. Especially something like, oh, maybe it's the daughter's first period. Okay, so it is her first period, like what sort of tampons should we get? Oh, yep, no worries. Over here, here's your choices. This one said, like, ew, ew, boys. That's your what you're going with. Ew, boys. Grow up.
So that's not the right way to approach this mental health. And we all know that, you have the medical system, you can go that route. From my personal experience, that was not the route for me.
You didn't. Oh, look at that smug fucking. You didn't go to a doctor at all. How can you not recommend a route you never went? That's unfair. Oh, she's just the misinformation. It's the misinformation for me. Fuck right off.
I went in my sobriety, said, here's what's going on, here's how I'm feeling, what do I do? And it was pill, pill, pill. Bye, thanks, 10 minutes later. And that's not good enough for me. It shouldn't be good enough for you. And so we're really just trying to give people other options.
Look, I understand not everybody wants to go the pharmaceutical route. If so, I mean, is that your only chance? You're like, no, don't like that. Goodbye. Get a second fucking opinion. And you're giving advice to people as well. That's the problem. It's the advice
Of what that can look like to do it more holistically, to do it in ways that are in more alignment with your body, that are less toxic. It's a lot of ancient Chinese medicine mixed with like Ayurvedic modalities, techniques, a lot of herbs, adaptogens, like
they don't use the word modalities correctly. At the moment, she's sort of going through the Amare because it's such a professional company. They have an acrostic poem as their selling point. An acrostic poem, for those people who don't know, it's where you put like their name down and you think of something Amare and you think of the word and it has to start with the word. So real professional there. And she's sort of going through them at the moment because the A stands for ancient wisdom. Yeah, in other words, once again, colonial people, Western people stealing Eastern medicine and putting a price tag on it, selling it to other white people. Great. Take the knowledge. Don't, just hear about it. Although Hip Tran, I think he might be Vietnamese, possibly. He's got a Vietnamese surname. But I'm pretty sure he lives in America, and I'm not sure. I think he's always lived in America, but that's my limited knowledge about Hip Tran, and he's just he's the CEO. He's the money guy. He's not the science guy. So I don't know how much influence he would have on the science and using the ancient medication, blah, blah, blah.
Super fucking clean, and just really getting your body back to working the way that it's supposed to, instead of putting more toxic things in there that are going to have side effects, and then you have to deal with the side effects, right? So I am a business partner with Amare Global, and what that looks like, it just depends on what you're looking for. So obviously, like the freedom that you get with time and location freedom is wonderful, and you also. What I like about network marketing, here's my spiel on network marketing. This is my favorite thing about it. You're basically a 1099, right? Like you're an independent contractor, and I've done corporate world and I've done 1099. I used to be in real estate. I did consulting for a while, like all that stuff. So when you're network marketing, you're basically a 1099. You're your own boss. You do your own thing, whatever. But you still have like the perks of a corporate structure. And by that I mean you have a customer support department, you have a compliance department, you have a human resources department if you need them, right? Which we all love HR, right? But sometimes they are helpful. You have scientists and a panel of experts.
Yeah, great. So you have all of that without any of the bonuses like paid time off, things like that. Yeah, real good. I mean, I like that she's telling them about it. That's great, but it's pretty derivative, and I don't think that if you didn't know about network marketing, you wouldn't really still understand what it is. And you don't have your own business because you can't shut it down. You don't know you can't decide on the products or the price. Hello.
Can help answer questions for you. You have social media training. You have business and leadership development. You have like actual like digital assets that you're free to use. Like there's all of these things that are at your disposal if you want them, and however they fit into how you want to run your business. But nobody's like coming down your throat like in corporate, like you have to be here at this time and do this thing, and if you don't hit this bonus, then you're gonna be in trouble. And if you were in a network marketing company that's like that, I am sorry. I know it happens. That's not how we roll.
Okay. I'd like to see some evidence of that because that's what everybody says, and everybody ends up to being the same. Anyone who's gotten out of Amare, hit us up. Any of the people in Anti-MLM would be happy to hear your story.
Period. So you get kind of the best of both worlds. Like you get to be your own boss and do your own thing, but then like you also have like all of this support and all of this like credibility and foundation to fall back on, which if you are an entrepreneur, if you've been in entrepreneurship, it's real fucking hard. And that's one of the hardest parts is you feel alone, right? Like you feel like you're doing your own thing. And if you fuck up, like it's your liability. Like I've been through a bankruptcy. I'll be the first to tell you that. Like I went through a bankruptcy 2.5 years ago because when I first got into entrepreneurship, had no clue what I was doing, had nobody there to tell me I was fucking it all up. Was still drinking at the time too. Actually, no, was newly sober, but had drunk myself into a bad place to even.
Yeah, I was gonna say you said it was 4 years. Also, do you mean that you were in another network marketing company? Because that's not the correct term for entrepreneurship, being in a network marketing company. If it's real network marketing, interesting.
Start the business. period. So like I didn't have that accountability and that support when I first got into entrepreneurship, and that's one of the things that like you need the most. So this idea of like community that we get to create within this space and all of the resources that are provided for us, but we still get to do our own thing. So it's really fucking cool. So coming into that business, there's a couple different options. I don't want to get too granular because I don't want it to be confusing. And like if any of this,
What does granular mean? Does that mean getting too like specific? Shouldn't you though, if you're trying to recruit?
resonates with you, you just need to reach out to me and let's have a conversation, okay? So we do have an affiliate model that is like straight affiliate marketing. So if you're an influencer or if you're familiar with the influencer and affiliate like business model, basically, it works like that. Like you can just promote the products that you love, have people buy them, you have a link, you can give them a discount, so they're saving money, and you can also make money just off of people buying the product, and you don't have to do anything else. You don't have to build a team, you don't have to run a team, you don't have to micromanage people. You could even hire someone to manage your customers if you want to provide additional customer service, right? And like do upsells, make sure they know about promotions, like all of those things. You could.
But you don't get paid for that. That's not good to encourage. That's unusual to hear that it being encouraged.
Just do the affiliate model. And if you're in the affiliate space, I will tell you this. We pay the best of any company I've ever heard because I've explored different affiliate opportunities with other supplement companies and things like that. When you get to a certain volume in our comp plan, we pay up to 38% commission on the affiliate plan, which is like insane. Like most affiliate commissions are like 10, 15%, I would say on average. So up to 38%.
Who wants to bet it's an affiliate to like distributor pipeline? That's what they're trying to get happening. Like, oh, you're already getting the 38%, so you could get a little bit more, and then, oh, look at this, look at this. You're already selling the product. All you have to do is get other people to sell the product. Sounds like it could be happening.
And that's just the affiliate model. So that's the first way. If you want to be really hands off, but maybe leverage the platform that you have, and maybe leverage like if that is your lifestyle, like if you're passionate, Bowser's trying to get on camera. If you're passionate about mental health, and that's already your community, that's already what you talk about, like it's kind of a no-brainer. Like why wouldn't you have an affiliate link? So that's the first way. The second way is just as a customer. So
people don't like MLMs because it's an exploitative business model.
So if you personally want to work on something with your mental health, gut health, hormones, all of the things that we can dive into, you can get your products and you have an opportunity to get free products and to get referral bonuses, even just as a customer. So again, you don't want to build a team, you don't want to have other partners, you don't want to like do the whole shebang, like you just want to get your products for free and maybe make a little bit of money off some referrals. You can just be a customer and do that. I haven't paid for product since my second month with the company. I don't pay for product anymore.
Great, because you have a team.
Unless it's something like new and special and they have a bundle and I want to get it, right? But like I have earned my free product and a lot of it. Like I have a whole thing full and I take most of it every day and it's awesome. So there is a customer route where you don't.
Sounds like inventory loading.
Have to build a team, but you just have a chance to get free product, improve your own mental wellness, and you can refer friends and still get paid those referral fees, even if you're not building a business. So that's the second way. Third one, the big one, if this is you, if this speaks to you, is to build it as a business. I personally am a business builder. Most of who I bring into my business is other business builders. I do have some customers that I'm very grateful for, but what happens is you take the products and they work, and then you're like, oh, well, my mom needs to order now, or my neighbor needs to order now. Like, what do I do? And I'm like, well, we need to give them your link. And so a lot of people, myself included, end up rolling into the business anyways because the products, they work. And then you get excited about them and you want to tell everyone about them. So I personally started as a customer because I'm the kind of person, which a lot of people are like this, and I think you should be this way. Like, I want to make sure it works for me before I recommend it to anybody else. And some people might jump in a little faster than that if they are a little bit more into the gut health space already. Like I was still in the process.
No one's really into the gut health space. That's not a thing. It's like, like superfoods where people go through bits. And it's always happened. Remember the smear campaign on eggs and cholesterol back in the day? Poor old eggs. bad press everywhere. Yeah, like, I don't know. Is it proven?
Process of even like wrapping my head around like the science behind it and all of that. So I took a few months with the products to make sure that I was seeing results with myself, and that I felt comfortable like bringing this to my audience and bringing it to the table and endorsing it. So there is a business route. You can hit the ground running, or you can, take some time, have your own testimonial, and then transition at that point. But as business partners, you have an opportunity to obviously earn those referral bonuses. You can earn bonuses from bringing in new business partners or new customers. And then you also have all of the other perks and incentives that you stack on that when you're in the business plan. And I'll just share 3 very briefly with you. Again, I don't want to get too granular because especially if you're not in network marketing, some of this might be like speaking a foreign language. But the first one is rank advancement. So basically that means like just what it sounds like. As you accumulate business and you're growing your business and you're making more referrals, you can hit certain ranks that are going to pay you out more money. And our company actually has a rank that you can hit, which I've already hit, that has a guaranteed monthly income. No other network marketing company does that. So
Wrong. Q Sciences does it. Pretty sure Awakened does it. Yeah. Other companies do have it.
we also have that built into our ranks. So you can have rank advancements. That's the first kind of stack of incentives. You can also earn free trips. So I am still newer within the company, so I didn't qualify for this year, but I'm well on my way to qualify for next year. And same thing, as you build your business, you earn points towards trips. Next year, we're going to be going to Antigua. I'll be there. I'm already claiming that. I'll be there. I'm hoping that I can get enough to get one of the overwater bungalows, and we're just going to like lay there for a while, and Callie's going to be super jealous. But that
Callie's her dog. That's weird that your dog will be jealous. Yeah, she's not really saying what you need to do to qualify for this. She said she didn't qualify. At least she mentioned that you have to qualify. The other thing too is it counts as income if you get the trip, so you have to pay tax on it as well. And there's usually little caveats here and there, like you have to get your own airfare or you have to pay for this or that. So it'd be interesting to know if there's anything else that is, needed to qualify for this.
That's another way, is the free incentive trips where you get to be around other like-minded people. And I will tell y'all, like I went to the convention last month, and that was the first like conference, convention, whatever I'd gone to where the focus of it wasn't that it was a party where everybody was drinking. And it was fantastic. And it took me like 2 days in to like really even like realize that that's what was going on. But just to be around other people that are health conscious, that are of high energy, high frequency, like just happy and like trying to make the world a better place. Like it's so freaking cool to just like be in that community.
Yeah, that's every convention thinks they're doing that. It's not just Amare. I don't know. It does sound like she may not have been in any of the companies before, so perhaps she is a little naive, but I don't know. The fact she's working with a Danielle, some things just don't sit right.
So that's one of the things that I'm looking forward to with going to Antigua next year. So there's the whole trip incentive program. And then there's another program called Love Your Journey. And this means as you grow your business, you again accumulate points, you get free shit, and it's cool shit. So I've already gotten a Bluetooth speaker, water bottle. I actually earned 2 of those. They sent me 2. Thanks. And I'm well on my way, so close to getting an Aura ring, the ones that like track your sleep and all of that. There's cash bonuses that you can take at each level. There's Apple Watches, there's iPads, there's
again, these are all things that you have to pay tax on. So they're not that great.
Pelotons. Once you get up and up and up, there is car bonuses, all the cool shit once you get to the top. But even along the way, like they're going to give you stuff. And last week I realized that I earned enough points that they actually have like an Amazon store that you can go in and shop with your points on the Amazon store. So I went in and I said, okay, what can I use this on like to invest in my business? Because I'm always looking to like money as an investment. So to me, I'm like, how can I spend that wisely? And so I got like a new ring light and a new little webcam stand. And I got like a couple other things that are just going to like help me make content better. And they were free because I earned.
I have this thing as well, where I can go on the Amazon app and pick out stuff that will help my life, and I just pay for it from my income that I get from my job. It's pretty good, but I don't have to just shop at Amazon. I can shop wherever I like with that money. That's a good deal. It's a good deal. Um, and she threw in there, there's a car bonus, and it sounded like there was, because she said she's already earned an iPad and this and that, and it sounded like it was this competition. But then she threw car payment in there. I'm like, I think that's part of the ranks usually, but it's a bit confusing.
Them by building my business. So there's this whole other program called Love Your Journey that also gives you really cool shit along the way. And it's stuff that's like, again, like either business focused or like mental health focused, or you can take the cash. But it's all things that like you actually want. It's not just a bunch of like random stuff where you're like, I don't even want, like, what am I going to do with that thing, right? Like, what am I going to do with that little bag that nothing fits in that I'm just going to put in my closet because it's big and ugly and tacky, right? So it's actually cool stuff that you can use, and sometimes you can pick out the stuff.
I feel like that was a paparazzi shade. They're paparazzi's branded stuff from their like convention and that. Ooh, no, no thanks. They are tackorama from the get go. Honestly, so tacky. Ugh.
Yourself. So I just had a personal experience with that, and I was really excited about it. I didn't even know what was happening. I just did it. So those are kind of the ways that we can.
That feels like a lot of network marketing. I didn't know what was happening, but I just did it, and then I got something for it, and then now I'm like a cult member. Those poor people who just don't know. It's the boiling frog, you know. You don't know until you're about to die. I mean, theoretically, not for real, unless you're in paparazzi, like last year's convention.
Yeah. Once you're in the business plan, and of course there's like different things like profit sharing and other like rank bonuses as you get higher up in the comp plan. I'm not going to get into all of that, but there's some really easy things you can do to earn your first $300, earn your first $500. I'm not going to get into the granular of that, but you can earn money your first day. Like I earned my first $500 within like 2 weeks with the company, so that paid back my initial investment and it gave me some money in my pocket on the first commission day. So you can earn it immediately. You can grow your business
Income claim not allowed.
Whatever you want, and you can stack all of these programs however it is aligned with what type of lifestyle you want and how important this is to you. So that's a little bit about the mental wellness company. If you want more about the products themselves, things like that, I'm not going to get into that on this. I really just wanted to address it as like a bird's eye view of like the business opportunity. We are the only supplement-ish company that's taking a mental wellness perspective on this. So there's a lot of companies that are kind of doing gut stuff. There's companies that are kind of doing like supplement stuff, anti-inflammatory, things like that. We take the comprehensive approach, and it is all from the root of improving your mental health and helping you to feel better as you're going through this process of healing at a root level and fixing your gut brain axis, supporting your immune system, supporting your heart, and really just like helping all of these systems function like they're supposed to be in the first place.
So, yep, you might be one of the only ones. No, I think there is other ones that have claims that, you know, it makes you happier. But it's because when you can't make health claims, and if you have products that you say are going to improve your mental health, that's a pretty big fucking health claim. So that's why people stay away from it a little bit more, because yeah, you know, when people are talking about that, I'm sure that the strip was something about mental health, the Elamere strip. So look, you might be the only ones who have got all your fucking branding saying mental wellness, but you're not the only ones doing it, okay? Even fucking Beachbody/Body was gonna have like some sort of mental, you know, like mindfulness program coming up soon. So you're not the pick me fucking MLM, but you are. You are. We're not like other girls.
And there's no other company that's doing it like that. If they tell you are, they're not. Okay. Or at least they're not doing it from the gut health perspective being like the core of everything.
Wrong. Every single health and wellness company talks about gut health and how it is your third brain. Okay, you probably don't know it, because why would you consume other MLM like things. We do know it because we see it. Okay, it's out there. You're not the only ones.
And then the other things are kind of auxiliary and just work in coordination with that. So what we're doing is kind of in its own lane. The company's been around for about 5.5 years, and so they have really good credibility. Our white papers are like off the charts. If that's, I'm a white paper person, nobody's surprised by that. Like just the
Okay, so what about all of the research about multi-level marketing and your chief science officer? You're just going to ignore all the white paper, the research, the reports, the statistics, the data. Yep, that shit we don't care about, but we do care about the fucking white papers on just the products that my company sells and that I have a vested interest in you buying. So me recommending it is not an independent thing. There's something to be gained by saying that this works. If you say this works and someone buys something based on your recommendation, you get money for that. So you cannot have an unbiased opinion, no matter what you say. Okay? You could say anything. And you may not have a big bias. It's unconscious bias as well, because you know it's worked for you, because you've got all the science brain, blah blah blah. Yeah, but you can't be picky with the research that you believe, all right? If it's got all of the required things that are needed to be a peer-reviewed study, whatever is needed, you need to believe all of the research and not just the ones that are advantageous for your company to do well.
clinical data that's come out, and it's just very, very highly impressive from a business perspective. So if you want more information, you just need to reach out to me. I see I have some comments coming in, so I'll definitely respond to you guys on that. But that in a nutshell is what the mental wellness business is. We're moving very quickly. We have our own lane. I would love to help support you if it's something that you're passionate about, or if you just want to work on some things for yourself. That's what that is. Okay, so I could talk about business all day. I do think it's really important. I'm going to just bring this full circle. I think it's incredibly important to have multiple streams of income. I also think it's incredibly important to have things that you are doing for yourself that you're building long term. So if you can find something that makes money in the short term and is building in the long term, like even for me with my content creation, like short term I make money off the content, long term I'm building out coaching and I'm building out passive income ways to do that. And I'm
Yeah, great. But what are your qualifications to do any of that? It's all just learned on the job, isn't it?
building out brand deals for Callie of like products that we know and love and like are already in our videos. Like that's kind of the evolution of that. So anytime you can find something that is something you're passionate about, you have immediate income opportunity and you can build long-term wealth and passive income, like that's something you should lean into. And so that theme kind of runs in all of my businesses. And I know as we're going into holidays, it's a tough time for a lot of people. And especially apparently we're in a recession or going into a recession. I don't know. I try to do work that's recession proof. Or that even
Is it just that you've been told it's recession proof? Because recession affects everybody.
might thrive in a recession or might thrive when times are hard because people need something either to create more income or to take care of themselves physically and
And that is not fucking MLMs. An MLM cannot do that. The system is cooked and you know, people know it. So stop trying to fucking scam them and get them into this company because you're making them afraid of the future.
mentally or to entertain them like videos. So just some food for thought on that. I'm going to keep this to under 30 minutes because, oh my goodness. And hopefully everything was technically okay with this. We're on the laptop and we're on a new webcam. So we'll see. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. Please reach out to me. I look forward to those conversations. And I love y'all. Have a good night. Bye.
All right. It's just so. I don't know if she is actually like that ignorant. Okay, so she's got a video from today. It was only 8 minutes long. I was gonna watch it actually. So it says that she was a co-founder of Rebel Alliance Inc. When did it start though? That's what I want to see. Sorry, I get my windows sorted. Sozzles, everybody. 11th of August. It's Rebel Alliance launch day. Danielle and Laura had a long road of battling addiction. God, They both look a bit, I don't know, just don't like the toning of that picture. 11 likes or loves, great. I wonder, it hasn't done much since then, jeez. Alright. So, Silver Heart Mentor. Oh, that must be the job thing. Oh, that's a great idea. When it's 13 degrees and windy out and you realize this treadmill was worth every last penny you paid for it. Yeah, especially for an active dog like that. Jeez. Okay, let's watch this thing, which is my tips for building confidence from the inside out. I just want it to be a little bit smaller.
Hey, it's one of my favorite topics. Something I get asked a lot is how did you become, or how are you so freaking confident? So I have a few tips I want to share with you of what I've learned along the way and how I got here, because I was not like this several years ago. I probably put on a good face, but I was really, really insecure behind closed doors. So today I'm not like that. I am very confident. I know what I bring to the table, and I want to share with you what I've learned to get here. So the first thing is, I already kind of alluded to it, knowing what you bring to the table. I think there is, especially in the entrepreneurial and the business world, there is a lot of value in knowing your weaknesses and what you need to work on. However, there is still a lot of things that you're really good at. And we can't lose sight of those because we're always so hyper focused and almost obsessed with working on things that we're not good at. So whether
I don't know. I think network marketers generally talk a lot about what they think they're good at.
it's journaling or meditation, visualization, having some type of a practice where you are actually,
But like, oh, God damn it. You can't. How can you be good at journaling? It's so funny. I am so good at journaling. I am. I am the best meditator. That's kind of weird too.
putting into words or putting on paper all of the things that you excel at, or all of the things that make you great, or even making a list of like all the things that you've accomplished in your life or that you've overcome to get where you are. I think if we don't have that intentional time set aside to kind of like brag on ourselves and like really bring it back to reality, it's easy to forget a lot of those things because we just get busy again focusing on things that we need to work on. So having that intentional time to actually focus on your strengths, find ways to express them creatively, whether it's in your personal life or your professional life, and like really live in your strengths once you recognize what those are. So that's the first tip. The next tip that I have for you is to watch the language that you use about yourself. I am a really big proponent of being cautious of not just the words in our head, but the words that come out of our mouth. Something that I am very aware of and try to kind of catch with other people, and if you know me, you know I do this, is how often we say I'm sorry, especially as women. I feel that we always are apologizing for shit that we shouldn't be apologizing for. But it's just a habit, right? And like we think we're inconsiderate if we're not apologizing all the time.
I mean, yeah, but again, you need to balance really.
Or that we're being rude. And what can be detrimental about that is that I am is the most powerful statement you can make. That's why I don't feel in alignment with AA, because the first thing you do is stand up and say, "Hi, my name's Laura and I am an alcoholic." Like, whoo, what an emotional state to start a healing process in. That's a different video.
Yeah, but that's the truth. You're like, honey, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry to tell you that you are an alcoholic. Okay? You're in recovery. And that's the lead story, you know what I mean? The it's just part of your history. I don't know. Is it seems like it's a little bit too toxic positivity, you know?
But when you're saying, "I am sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry," over and over and over again, and if you're one of these people that that's like your thing, you probably say it like 20 to 30 times a day.
I agree. I hate it when people apologize for their emotions, especially. Like, don't ever apologize for your emotions. Like, that's you, you know? The only thing that I probably would say if somebody was really, really angry and they did something to upset you, then maybe you need to apologize for your emotions there. But I don't like it when people over apologize too, and especially as a teacher. The amount of times kids say to me, "Oh, sorry, miss," I'm like, "You're not sorry." For one, I'm sorry if anyone's like fight or flight response just started there because that was a bit of the teacher tone coming out. For one, you're not sorry, okay, because you're going to do that again, or you have been doing that for this long, and actions speak louder than words. Don't say sorry. This is what I say to the kids. Don't say sorry. Change your behavior. That's the best apology, okay? And I stand by that. Ding.
If you actually sat down and counted. And so that adds up. And just being aware of those things that we say about ourselves, because subconsciously, like, we're programmed. You're not sorry. You're not a sorry person, or I failed, or I messed up. Well, you're not a failure. You're not a mistake. You're not a disaster.
No one said that, like, I failed, unless they did fail,
You can say, okay, I didn't get the results here that I wanted. What can I learn from this?
It sounds too toxic positivity, though.
And just reframing the situation into kinder language to yourself. And even in the apologetic situation, if I am like deeply sorry for something, I will say that I apologize. I apologize that my actions weren't in alignment with A, B, and C that I should have brought to the situation. And if it's something where I don't really need to apologize, but it's just like the knee-jerk reaction, I turn it into a thank you. This is a tip I learned a long time ago and have started to implement it. It's kind of like replacing but with and. Well, it's replacing I'm sorry with thank you and with gratitude. So if somebody, listens to you speak about a situation, you're emotional and you're like crying, let's say, for example, so saying, I'm so sorry, I'm so sad, and you have to listen to this. But thank you for being such a good friend and providing space for me to speak about my feelings where it felt safe and that you were actually listening and seeing me and hearing me. Because then we're not beating ourselves.
I don't like the way she just said, I'm sorry for blah, blah, blah. Like, that was like, it was, it wasn't being accepting of that friendship, like, some people are just going to do that. I realize that too, because they perhaps aren't in a space where they are able to express their emotions. So I can understand why people do apologize, but to not, I don't know, it felt like she was poking fun just then.
Up, and we're also paying a compliment to the other person. So it's a win-win. So be very aware of the words that you're using to describe yourself in certain situations. And I'm sorry is one that I'm really passionate about, but we don't need to beat ourselves up. There's no reason for that. So the I am statements, very important, how you're subconsciously programming yourself and building or tearing down your confidence.
She's got a weird place that she's looking. Like, I'm looking at her on the screen, but
and number 3, because I love to give tips in groups of 3 because that makes sense in my head, but doing hard things. I try to do something hard or new or different or that makes me kind of squirmy every day. So some days that is jumping out of a plane. Other days it is sending a message on Instagram that I've been putting off.
So I have heard network marketers say this many times before, and it always feels like they are wanting for you to be in a place where you are going to do something that you're uncomfortable with to do with business. Okay. So yeah, you might be pushing them to, push through an experience, to triumph, to actually achieve something that is greater or whatever. There could be positive, behind it, but essentially it's so that they can say, well, you may not want to go live, but you have to do things that you're uncomfortable with. Like me, when I jumped out of the plane, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it feels like. These get out of your comfort zone messages are for. That's how they're portrayed. That's how I've seen them be used. And it's a pattern. It's not one-off. It's like over and over. Okay.
So it doesn't have to be big scale. It's more of the principle of practicing doing hard things and building that trust with yourself that you can do things even if they're hard. Like the difficulty and the fear, it doesn't have to stop you. And I've experienced that in my own personal life. Obviously, getting sober was a big one of those. I truly feel if I can be sober for 4 years, I can do anything. And you'll develop this confidence through basically proving yourself right over and over again. that yes, I can do that, and nobody's going to die. It's going to be fine. I'll be uncomfortable for like a second, and then I'll get over it and do it, and then I'll be able to move forward. And well, if I can do that, why can't I do that? If I can do that, then I can do that, and it builds on itself. So get comfortable with being uncomfortable and continue to do hard things, even if it's very small things, every single day. Make that your lifestyle.
But you can also do hard things and fail as well, which I'm sure is part of this for her. Like, this is obviously only an 8-minute talk, so, but yeah, like, having, you can find success in comfort as well. You don't have to be uncomfortable to progress as a human. You know, like, all of them usually say, you got to get out of your comfort zone to progress. And it's like, you can progress in your comfort zone. Sorry, but you can.
Of expanding and getting out of your comfort zone and trusting yourself enough to know that you can do it. And even if you don't, like having the perspective of, well, I didn't fail. Again, we're going to watch that language. I didn't fail. I learned something and I tried something new. Like you can frame it in a way that no matter what the outcome, it is building you up, no matter what the outcome. So that's my last tip on building confidence, holding that confidence is to be doing hard things and trying hard things and building that level of trust with yourself that no matter what, it's going to be okay. So I hope that this was helpful. I wanted it to be nothing superficial because I will tell you, confidence comes from within. It doesn't come from doing all this shit on the outside. Can that help? Yeah, sure. I mean, you might feel better about yourself walking into a room if you look a certain way, but at the end of the day, confidence is going to come from within. And these are things that you can use to just have some additional tools in your tool belt to start to build that up. So I hope you find value in this, and I will talk to y'all soon.
This one was a bit more, no, I don't want this. This one was a bit more like, I don't know, she was a bit more likable in this one. Like, before, I have found her to be a little bit insufferable just because of how she is with, like, I don't do therapy, I'm my own doctor, that sort of thing. I think that's really awful and dangerous information to put out there, uh, especially if she's a leader and she, looks like she's in this Rebel Alliance crapo thing with Danielle. And it's like, please stop saying that. Like, if you are making money in this business, please go to therapy. You don't have to. You can go to a doctor and say, I don't want pharmaceuticals. You need to give me something else. And go to as many doctors as you can until you find what you need, Yeah, same old, but I can't remember what her first tip was. Her second tip was watch using your language and I am statements. Can't remember what the first one was, though. And then the third one was do hard things. So, yeah, I don't know if that's how you build confidence, but it felt really like it didn't feel MLM-y as much because she didn't talk about gut brain, brain gut, gut brain. No, 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 gut brain. Yeah. But it was, yeah, definitely a little bit more conversational. However, I've seen that she's been doing that. She's been doing sort of like daily lives like that. So it's interesting because I know that that is a tactic that some MLMers will do as a bit of a challenge. It's a way of keeping your following engaged, although it doesn't look like she's got large engagement. So, well, we're going to get the big dog eventually. Danielle, we're gonna tackle the big dog. She is at the top. She's one of the founding members. She has lots of pictures where she's going. Me too. She's a badass bitch. All right. Thanks for being with me on sort of the day 7, day 8 of the 12 days of TISHMAS. Tomorrow, supposed to go live with Jessica today, but it was at the same time as Erin and JJ, and we just didn't want to make people have to choose. And yeah, it was fine. I wanted to sleep in anyway. So Jessica and I are going live tomorrow, same time. I think it's 7 p.m. PST, and for Australians, it is midday AEST. All right, I'm getting good at time zones. And tomorrow is going to be light. It's a top not fails So that is not the top knot. Not fails. So we know that we have top fails in MLMs, and they're the worst of the MLM huns and their posts and pictures and reels and etc. And the top knot fails are the anti-MLM funny ones. So our top ones. What have we got? I know we've got one from Erin. Yeah, a bit of who else? Definitely Fat Carrie Bradshaw. We love Chris. I think that's his name, Chris. Yeah, and we probably have something from Jessica. Yeah, so that'd be interesting. Oh, Jessica, aka Auntie Lushy, for those people who are like, who the fuck is Jessica? That's Auntie Lushy on IG. All right, I'm gonna go and finish editing this. Good work, me. And then we'll catch you next time. All right. Okay. Goodbye. 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 Goodbye.
San Diego is coming.